It's the time of year again where that evil flaming skyball finally leaves us alone. The leaves are falling, and like I said last year, we'll be avoiding my initial choice because Wanna-Do Edition likes to watch me sleep. We visited recently with Fishing Fantasy Buzzrod, but a recent acquisition takes us down the bizarre, uncertain road of 505 Game Street once again with Splatter Master. Originally titled the Splatter Action in Japan, Splatter Master was published in 2005 by D3 Publisher, under the Simple Series banner, a selection of budget titles from numerous developers and sold at a low cost indicated by the number. Splatter Master is Simple 2000 Volume 64, it being 2,000 yen, around 1340 British pounds or 1780 US dollars. There's some Japanese there, I wonder what that says. Well, let's whip out the old Google Translate app and see. Oh, series, of course, no, that makes sense. Well, let's pop this in and see what we're in store for.
The people of this village lived in peace and harmony until a wizard came and spoiled their tranquility by bringing a forbidden art back to life. The secret art gave objects and animals massive strength foreign to their nature. Jagod, the wizard's name, increased the number of his followers thanks to this secret art, and in a short time became king of the village. Frightened by Jagod's followers, the inhabitants left little by little. However, those who were more attached to their land stayed, among them an old married couple who owned the largest property in the village. One day they were attacked and seriously injured by one of Jagod's followers who had trespassed on their property. By this time the whole village was in Jagod's and his servants' hands. On the vast property there was also a scarecrow that had been transformed by the secret art. But the scarecrow was different from Jagod's other followers. He wanted to protect the farm and the old couple who loved him so much, as if they were his parents. When the scarecrow heard of the old couple's sorrow, he started his lonely journey to retake the village.
From the cover image to the name, I was expecting a more kid-friendly version of Splatterhouse, and that's pretty much what you get. But is it? It has a PEGI 12 rating, so it seems to lie somewhere in between. A side-scrolling beat-em-up with many weird enemies and even weirder bosses.
Crow Farm, of strange grape-like rocks, many falling water towers and roads of chocolate pudding. Little blood packs attack, frogs of the long tongue, broken bridges and angry tractors. Punch with all your might, for they carry coin, containers containing health and fuel. Fuel for chainsaws, dual wielding. A crow, large, formidable. Say hello to my little friends. Victims, aren't we all? Ghost Street, misty alleys and uneven houses. Barrels and boxes with rewards and dangers. Manholes, maniacs and abandoned Eastern European cars. A shop appears with goods and upgrades, immune to enemy attacks like many vendors before her.
I'll buy it at a high price.
Garbage cans and gargoyles on an out-of-place Gothic bridge. Candy Burger, a malevolent mascot and rocking tunes. A nay to your sweet meat. Back in your face. Back to the void. Scrap factory. Girders, chains and oil drums. Pipes of steam in your disturbing dreams. Awkward jumping over conveyors. Industrial press follows your moves. Laser beams and grimy floors. Less enemy variety as you ascend up the lifts. A steampunk aesthetic, a pleasing look. Metal, fences, machinery whir. A sentient gear, eyes and flame, spinning, moving, a crooked grin. What madness wrought such a terrible automaton? Bisected, dissected, your pain at an end. Requiem forest. Impenetrable trees, creeping vines and military mushrooms. Deadly toadstools release their spores. Hockey-matched villains, where are you going with that axe in your hand? High platforming, barrels on top. Cannot move on until all are gone. Roots through ground, slime and moss. What waits at the end? Another boss. Mighty toadstool with many brothers. Severance one by one. Now it's your turn. All are gone. Train canyon. Cattle bones, cacti, parrots' heads on legs. Iron bridges, a train of doom. Flying blood plaques reminiscent of Golbats. Giga-esque monstrosities, a prison car. Shards of glass outside first class. Watch your step. Number 55, bound for hell. A skull extends, a direction it implies. An elephant's call because, why not? An easy fight, a fleshy slice. A circumcision arrives on time. Freeze Lake. Snowflake flowers and bloody ice. Narrow channels and tricky jumps. A submarine watches your every move. Snow falls upon trees like frigid statues. Ghostly apparitions appear and wail. I am uncertain if they can be harmed. The full moon falls from the sky, aware of my presence. We're all going to die. It swims, it snorts, it makes waves. A jagged toothy maw, balls of flame. Into the depths and rot. Moonless nights, forevermore. Nightmare Castle. Final stage, final fight. Master axe wielders march in formation. Dropping many coins. Too late for that now. Open mouth windows, lightning strikes. Grim dungeon, hanging chains, multiple destruction. Shields, banners, symbols of power. Jagod upon his throne, the final showdown. A mighty sorcerer, difficult to strike. Summoning past bosses, is this good night? A second form, a dreadful demon so strong and imposing. Fire breath, veiny arms. The moon returns, tides are changing. A mere scarecrow, the victor. Jagod is no god. He is nothing. He is dirt like the earth on which you once stood. Vanquished, defeated, his dark art a ruin.
Splatter Master is a very short game. If you played it on easy or just don't suck too hard at it, it can be beaten in under an hour. That's if you know how to save. The copy I purchased was from a gaming Facebook group, and unfortunately the person I bought it off decided to change the item description after I'd paid for it, so it didn't come with its manual, which I assume would have included the saving procedure. You only get the save option after you die and select no to continue. That's a very defeatist way to incorporate that. It's very arcadey and wouldn't surprise me if there was an arcade cabinet of it in Japan. But a budget title is a budget title and this works perfectly well. It's a satisfying little hack and slash with both a cute and disturbing mix. Looking at the Japanese cover through the Translate app again, there's also some subtext. Fly around, piece of meat, cut in two of chainsaw. Yeah, that pretty much sums this up. Due to its quick pick-up-and-play gameplay and simple controls, it would be nice to see this re-released on mobile platforms. A fun little time waster like this would fare well in today's market.